Could you just first of all state your name, age and where you're from?
My name's Kelly Starr, I'm 44 and I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I have had over 100 surgeries and spent up to $250,000, so $250,000 body. Starting with breast implants, I've had 16 operations, including 7 sets of implants, ranging from 360cc right up to 2000cc, and currently 1650cc, and also gender reassignments. So I've had also 10 correction procedures as well. So that's another 10 surgeries there. I've had surgery on my bum and hips to increase the size, to make it look really hot. I've had over 20 procedures done there on 20 different days. What else have I had? And also my lips. I've had over 40 permanent procedures on my lips. And still not 100% finished. And I also had cheek fillers and nose and eyes. So all those add up to over 100 procedures and $250,000. I still have one more slight correction procedure I want to have done for my gender reassignment as well. So that's only minor, but that's another surgery. And yeah, there might be one other little secret surgery.
And so once that's done, you'll be finished?
100%, yes, and I can't wait for that to be done. I can't wait for that to finish. It's been so long. I've been waiting for a very long time.
How many years has all these surgeries taken?
It's taken like the first surgery since 18, so up until now it's 26 years later.
And what I guess is your claim to fame?
Well, I do have the largest breast implants ever done in Australia. Yes.
How big are they?
They are 1650cc Polytech implants, and previously I had 2000cc.
What's CC mean?
CC is the amount of mils inside, so 2000cc equals 2000 mil. Yeah, so I currently have 1650, but I'm planning on going back to the 2000.
What's your where's this kind of obsession with having such enormous implants come from?
I just love the hot look of the really beautiful body, the big boobs, tiny waist. Yes, very sexy.
Is it a look that you've wanted since you were really young?
Yes, definitely. I saw girls at school who were like flashing to guys with really big boobs, and I wanted to do that too. Okay. So now I can.
So when you were a kid, you had this kind of, or when you were like at least an adolescent, you had this idea of what a perfect body was, or what you wanted your body to be.
Yes, definitely, as a teenager, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
who were you kind of influenced by in that?
Girls from Sports Illustrated, yes, and also really busty, curvy girls as well with hot bodies. Yes. So I sort of tried to morph the two together.
Right.
Yes.
What was it about them that you really liked?
Just the real hot sex appeal of it. Yeah.
Does that sex appeal come from the fact that you think that's something that guys like, or it's something that you found sexy yourself?
I like the look on myself, and definitely know that lots of guys like it.
Do you get lots of attention from guys?
Certainly do.
Yeah. What are the, I guess, dangers or involved in having breasts that large?
Very much so. There's lots of dangers once you go to over 600 to 800cc. Yeah, you warned that there's lots of complications, which I have come across.
For example?
I had a bad set of implants done in Thailand. So after that, I've spent about $75,000 and had 12 correction procedures to get me to where I am today. Yeah, so there's lots of complications that can happen.
Are there any psychological tests you need to go through to have implants or have that level of cosmetic surgery?
Certainly for the transgender surgery you have to have psychological approval.
Sure.
But not for anyone wanting breast implant.
Could you talk to me a bit about the psychological approval side of having transgender surgery?
It's just going to a psychologist and psychiatrist to get their approval. But some doctors are different. Other doctors will allow people nowadays to see their own psychologist, I think, and psychiatrist before the surgery. So I'm not 100% sure on all the procedures today, because my surgery was done in 1990.
Was there less regulation around that kind of surgery back then, or more?
I think there was more, because a lot of girls go overseas for surgery now, which there's less regulation overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the same regulation still exists in Australia today. Yeah.
And is there much of a, you're from Perth?
Yes, that's right.
Is there much of a transgender community in Perth?
Yes, I think there is. Not so much. I mean, a lot more so here in Sydney, but yeah, there is all around Australia and all around the world. Hot girls everywhere.
This might, I guess, be like a potentially rude, sensitive question, but I want to ask it anyway.
I love those sort of questions.
Are you single?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you pick up much?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much.
Do you tend? I imagine a lot of men find you very, very attractive.
Yes.
At what point do you tell them that you're transgender, or do you tell them?
It just depends what situation I'm in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I'm dating someone, I like to tell people straight away. Yeah. Yeah. No need to waste any time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and how have you found men's attitudes towards that?
Really good. Yeah, I get really positive feedback all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Mostly guys just looking at my boobs and going, "Wow, I can't believe it."
Can we talk about your transition from being born a male to who you are now?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
So what was your name when you were born?
It was Michael.
Michael.
Yes.
Okay. How old were you when you started to realise that you weren't actually a boy?
When I was 16 years old. That's when I started hormone treatment. Yes.
So that's quite early for hormone treatment.
Definitely,
correct?
yes. Yeah, I took hormones. I obtained them illegally, I suppose. First of all, I took them from a friend who didn't know I was taking them. And then I went to a doctor and I told the doctor I was 18 years old and I was from interstate and I needed another script for my hormones. And luckily I got away with that.
There must have been some pretty big risks in doing that.
Yeah, I didn't look at it as a risk at the time. I just looked at it as something that was definitely going to happen in my life. Yeah, and I was going to take any risk, I suppose, to
Did they have the same?
get there.
Did they have the same psychological assessments back then that they do now for transgender people taking hormone therapy?
Yes, they do. Yes, they did. Yes.
But it doesn't sound like you went through any psychological assessments before you started taking your friend's hormones.
Not before, no, definitely not before then. No one knew I was on hormones for about 6 months. I didn't tell anyone. Yeah. I kept it all to myself.
I mean, surely you look back at that and think that was an incredibly kind of risky thing to do.
Yeah, I look at it as being courageous, not really risky. Yeah. Yeah.
When did you first start to show signs that the hormones were working?
Yeah, within a month, definitely. Yeah, things were starting to change. My breasts were starting to grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people would often walk past me in the street and I'd hear people say, "Is that a boy or is that a girl?" So I used to love that. I wasn't a girl then, I was living as a boy, but yeah.
So you actually liked that confusion that people had when they looked at you?
Because I knew I wanted to be a girl, but I was still living as a boy at the time. Yes. I was waiting to transition. Yes.
What kind of attitudes did you encounter? I mean, this was the 80s, right?
Yes, that's right, mid-80s.
What kind of attitudes did you encounter amongst your friends and family and community?
Mostly, yeah, a lot of good and a lot of bad. So yeah, all mixed emotions from different people. Yeah, yes.
Can you give any examples of that, either positive or negative?
Yes, I didn't speak to a couple of members of my family for many years until after my surgery. But yeah, and some members still, I don't think 100% accept me who I am today, but that's their decision. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that.
This is something that's confusing to me, actually, that I have a daughter, and if she decided that she was transgender, I'd have no problem with that. She's my daughter, I love her, like, it doesn't matter at all.
Yes.
Why do you, I mean, you probably have a pretty unique view on why families of transgender people disown them.
Yeah, I think it's strange as well. It's like they should be happy for us that we're happy. Yeah.
Do you think there's a misunderstanding amongst the community that you've made a choice rather than this being a reflection of who you really are?
Yeah, I think that, but I think people are starting to understand now that that's not so. Yeah.
So you were 16, you started taking hormones. How quickly did your body start to change, and how did it change?
Yeah, the breast started growing, and yeah, and just like the body shape would change as well, and skin become nicer. Yeah.
And so, when was your first bit of cosmetic surgery?
When I was 18, I had breast implants.
How big were they?
They were only 360cc. They were about C cup, but I changed straight to 390cc because they were done in a different way compared to the 390s. Yeah, and I had those for like 17 years. The C cup 390s, they were great until I decided to go bigger.
Much bigger.
And bigger and bigger and bigger.